Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to everyone who is watching me live or the recording of this session. I wish you a very good day and hopefully everything is doing very well on your side. And on my side, I'm doing very good, Alhamdulillah. And that's why I am here today to deliver the third part of editing and abstract what you need to know after I have already delivered this topic for the past 2 weeks. And today is the third part of the same topic because I would like to say this is the final topic for the final part for this topic, because why I would like to summarize and give a a few notes, important notes, especially when it comes to editing and abstract. Because just earlier this week, I had the experience of helping a client in editing his or her abstract. I'm not really sure about the client, but the most important thing is about the abstract itself. Okay, so thank you for to all of you who have watched the previous sessions, the first and the second part. If you need to understand more about editing and abstract, it's better to leave the session now and better to watch the first two sessions earlier, because you will get better idea about what I'll be sharing in this third part. Okay, but if you would like to stay until the end of today's session, it's okay, but do not forget to watch the first two sessions as well, because they are really useful, especially when it comes to editing and abstract. Okay, because why? Abstract is like our face. People will not be reading our entire article without first reading our abstract, because our abstract is the face of our article. If the face does not look nice, people will not be liking to read the rest of our article. That's why I start to deliver this session at the earlier part of the year, because it's really important for you to know to how to create, how to produce the best possible abstract, so that your face, the face of your article, will be able to attract people to read the rest of the article. It will be no use if we have been working so hard for so many years, but then it fails at the face of our article, because the abstract represents the rest of our article. If the abstract fail to be written and edited well, we are afraid what we've been doing for so many years will be not read by anyone. Because why? Of course, after we've spent a lot of time working on our PhD works, we want people to know what we have found from the study. That's why we want people to attract people to read the rest of the article, so that they will benefit from the article, and then they will cite the article in theirs uh, next. Okay, so okay, I would like to say that for today's session, we will not be sharing any content in terms of how to do the editing itself. But what's important in today's session is that I would like to say, to share this experience of mine that I had earlier this week, because I believe if you miss the point, I'm afraid you'll be doing the same mistake like what the client did. I'm afraid to say that the client did a mistake, but I would like to put it this way: it's best to follow what the experienced people say to you. Okay, because in this field, I've been working on this field since 2009, and it's already 2023. I really know how it works. I really know how an abstract should look, and and how an abstract should be edited, because I've been editing a lot of abstracts, a lot of articles, a lot of thesis, and that's where I would like to say it's best to follow what the editor have suggested to you. Okay, because in the end, the intention of the editor is to help you, to ensure that you will get the best result possible for your thesis. But then if you do not follow what the editor uh, have suggested to you, it will not be the editor's mistake anymore. You will be responsible for not following the suggestion. It's not to say that it's not you must follow exactly what the editor have suggested. That's where the word suggestion comes, because the editor will only be suggesting. The final decision will be from you who write the abstract. Okay, so yeah, if you have some, I would like to say discussion lah, discussion, not really disagreement or refutation with your, not reputation tau, refute, you refute what your editor said. uh, just be prepared in case you'll be asked why you did not listen to the editor's advice. You must have the justification lah kan. Gitu. Then things like that. Okay. But let's first recap what we have already learned for the past 2 weeks. Okay, I would like to, in case you do not know how to find the sessions, let me share with you how you can find them. First, okay, is here. Just go to Proofreaders United's YouTube channel, and then in case you do not still find it, maybe you clicked on the wrong tab. There are home videos, live playlists, and so on here. You should be seeing at the live session because it was recorded live, and this is where you can find the past 2 weeks sessions. Editing an abstract, what you need to know, part 2, and editing an abstract, what you need to know, part 1. Okay, there are so many important points that you can learn about editing an abstract, and hopefully you will be able to to take note of the important things that I have shared in the past 2 sessions, so that you will be able to produce the best possible abstract for your own article. And more importantly, not only the knowledge, the tips that I have shared in the sessions are useful for you for your article, you can also use the tips and tricks and knowledge about an abstract for your own thesis as well. Okay, in case you have no access to YouTube, maybe you have some problem, technical problem in accessing YouTube. Okay, you can always go to also our Facebook. Okay, I better stop sharing, and then you present share screen. You can also go to the page, the Facebook page of Proofreaders United. This is the page, facebook.com/Proofreaders United, and you can go to this no, rightmost tab, and then click not video but, okay, for my version is in Bahasa Melayu, but you will be reading here, it's called live. Okay, live. So you can see, okay, now I am live now, that's why it appears here. Okay, video langsung yang lepas means the past videos, the past live videos. So this is where you can also find the other videos that I have recorded earlier, especially on the last 2 weeks regarding the topic of editing and abstract. Okay, so other than the topics, there are so many others so many other topics that we have already recorded in English and in Bahasa Melayu, where you can always learn and listen for your own benefits. Okay. Okay. For today's session, I would not like to make it too long, because why? Because I want to stress on this one important note. It is about um, editing an abstract for your thesis. For your thesis. Okay. Let me share with you the story about an article. Oh, no. A thesis that I edited. Not really. I don't. Not that I edited the thesis. I edited the abstract for the thesis. Okay. Initially, the client wanted to get or requested to get proofreading service for the thesis abstract, and I was assigned to do the job because the document was in Bahasa Melayu. I am able to edit, proofread, translate to and from Bahasa Melayu from English. Okay. And after skimming the document, I found that the words in the document are spelled correctly. And then once I skim through, I read the sentences, they sound okay in terms of subject verb agreement, in terms of the grammar, Malay grammar, on the surface value, on the surface, on the skimming through, I found that the document was okay. I can proofread this document. However, since I can see the names of the client is not really a Malay name. It sounded like the name is not a Malaysian name, and the document was in Bahasa Melayu, in Malay language. And I guess probably the document was translated to Bahasa Melayu from an English abstract. And then, yeah, the client agreed with my offer to proofread the document. I also agreed to offer my proofreading service for the abstract, but I put a disclaimer saying that I will treat the document as a Malay version document only, and this is not a translation editing service. Okay, because upon skimming through the document, I found that the document quite an easy one to be proofread. And then after the client paid the deposit payment, I started the work. Upon starting the work, only then after I really read the document sentence by sentence, phrases by phrases, word by word, only then I found that something was really not right about the abstract. It could be understood, um, it could be understood, but it doesn't sound really nice in terms of I can sense that the document was translated by a machine or by a robot. Probably the document was translated by Google Translate. I do not know. I do not know. I do not want to impose any bad image about the abstract. It's just that the document needed some little more work in terms of grammar, a little bit. However, the more I read the document, when I started to find weird phrases that doesn't sound really right in Bahasa Melayu, and then the more I read, the more sentences I read, I found that yeah, I really think that this is not a well translated document. Possibly it was translated either by a machine robot or by a non non-linguist translator, or a translator who is not professional, who is not experienced. That's why the result of the translation was not really good. And at least I still give the credit to the client who took the effort to find someone to proofread the Malay version of the abstract. However, I I found that it's not possible to proofread the abstract. I admit that it was my mistake for not really went through the document sentence by sentence, uh, phrases by phrases, word by word, because I can give my own reason or possibly an excuse because it was on a Monday where a friend of mine passed away. That's why I was quite busy driving from Kuantan to KL on the same day. Yeah, that's why I wanted to help the client more by I still proofread the document until the end of the abstract, but I still wanted to say something to the to the client, saying that what I did was really proofreading. I did not know what the English, possibly English version of the document said. Okay, that's why I wanted to offer the client my translation editing service at a minimal cost. At a minimal cost because I needed some more time to cross-check between the Malay abstract and the English abstract because I really believed that the original document was in English language. And based on the name of the client, I believe the client did uh, his or her study in Malaysia. His or her not Malaysian. His or she's not a Malaysian. That's why the client needed to prepare the Malay version of the abstract. Okay, and then the client submitted the English version of the document, and what I initially believed was right. The initial document was in English language, and the document was translated to Malay. I do not know by who or by what, but upon comparing between the Malay version and English version of the same abstract, I found that there are so many inconsistencies between the two documents. In other words, to simply put, the translation was not really good. Okay, that's why the document needed translation editing service, and I offered the service with some additional payment because I needed to spend a little bit more time to ensure that the inconsistencies between the two documents can be solved as best as possible. And then I did not start the work yet. I gave uh, my quotation to the client, and then the client agreed. And then I started working on the Malay abstract to edit the translation on the same day. Only I started working on it, and it was like 3 to 4 sentences before my staff said that Mr. Zaki, the client changed his or her mind. Uh, 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 the additional charge was too high for him to afford. Things like that. Yeah, really, he or she wanted to submit this kind of abstract to the examiner or to the supervisor. I'm afraid if the Malay version of the abstract is examined or is assessed by a Malay examiner or a Malay supervisor, the Malay version will be rejected because there are a lot of inconsistencies in the Malay abstract. Um, and then, since the client has decided not to proceed with the translation editing service, I did not continue the work, and I just submitted what I have already did or have already done in the for the proofreading service only, and then I still remind the client, it's best to get the Malay version of the abstract be translation edited. Okay, because you will be more confident to submit the thesis because it has been well edited by a well experienced editor. Okay, yeah, to get to that level, or to that point, you need to pay a little bit more to your editor so that you can be more confident that your thesis has been well written and well edited and well translated, especially for the Malay version of the abstract, things like that. Okay, because why? If you are an international student studying in Malaysia, you need to translate your abstract to Malay version, because why? The your study is also important to us so that we can learn from you in our own language, things like that. Okay, but then since the client did not say anything after I submitted the final word of mine, although the work has a few comments that I am not really sure about the original version of the phrases, because it did not, the phrases did not sound right in the Malay version. Uh, yeah, I wish the client all the best. Hopefully, the client will reconsider, will take my advice, my suggestion to translation edit the document, the Malay version, so that the client himself or herself will be more confident to submit the whole abstract to the examiners. We are afraid that if the content of the thesis is already good, the English version of the abstract also is already good, but it stuck at the Malay version of the abstract because there are a lot of inconsistencies with the English version. Okay, so the main point about today's session is about there can be a lot of inconsistencies if you use any robot, any machine that translate your document to any languages. Not to say that it's not totally advised to use those facilities. Sometimes we can rely to this software. However, we still need to get human final thought about what the robot, what the machine has translated for us. Okay, that's where you still need to give the original version of the document to the human editor, and then only then the human editor can do the final check about the content of the translation done by the machine or robot. Oh, okay, things like that. Because although there are artificial intelligence out there, the robot can do the works for us, but still it will not be able to think to the point where human can think. Okay, because why? Yes, these robots or artificial intelligence is very fast in terms of delivering the job, but the quality, how about the quality of the job, we are not really sure, especially when it comes to written documents. Okay, even spoken words also, there are a lot of things that are still not up to a level where this artificial can challenge human minds work, things like that. Okay, so I guess that's you get the point for this week's session, which is about human is still needed when it comes to editing. When it comes to editing, human is still needed. Okay, especially when the document has a lot of inconsistencies, and yeah, just make sure that you get the best help from a human instead of a machine. Okay, I think that's all for today's session. Thank you for watching this session. I hopefully you can subscribe to the YouTube channel of Proofreaders United, and also you can follow Facebook page of Proofreaders United for more content that are useful for you for your postgraduate journey and academic excellence. Okay, thank you for watching and Assalamualaikum.